So if we could just simply have clients without having to worry about more leads, we take that all the time. But the problem actually stems that we don't have this thing at the very bottom. And this is really important in terms of just changing our thinking. Because what we really need is a marketing machine, a marketing framework, a system that works with or without you. Because it's that which gives you your client acquisition. So what I want to show you today is, and I'm going to walk it through with you. This is why you need pen and paper, because you're going to be doing it with me. And by the time we finish here, I want you to actually have, great, here are 3 ways I'm going to attract right now. Here are the 2 ways that I'm going to nurture and educate right now. And if you can walk away really clear on how you're going to do that, perfect. Because that is what then creates for you this marketing machine. Marketing machine equals client acquisition. But for most people, their marketing relies on them. And if your marketing relies on you, when you're busy, what happens? Your marketing falls over. When you want to go on holidays, what happens? Your marketing stops. So we need to put in place things where it's going to work no matter what you're doing. So I said to go, people right now are in 4 different spots. I'd love to know where you're at right now once we go through them all. So down in that sort of red zone, I sort of just go, these people generally, there's no marketing. Okay, it is more of a wait and hope type strategy. It's more of a, well, I hope someone comes my way. I hope someone sees my website. I hope I meet the right person at a networking event. So hence, the growth of the business, it's up and down and up and down and up and down, depending on whether something external happens good that particular month. Then we move up into the yellow zone. I would call this ad hoc marketing. And in here, it really comes down to, does time permit me to be able to get exposure? And there's generally this cycle. I call this personal trainer cycle. We start off where we've got nobody. So therefore, we do a lot of marketing. And then what ends up happening? We end up getting clients. So now we've got to service the clients. And that's great. But then all of a sudden, the clients finish up. And what are we left with? Nobody again. So what do we have to do? We're going to come back and market flat out again. And we just keep going in that cycle. It's really hard to be consistent in growth if it's always just done ad hocly. Up in the green zone, I go vehicle-focused marketing. And this is where the marketing is relied upon just simply a vehicle bringing in leads. So when we talk about vehicles, we talk about Facebook ads. That's a vehicle. Posting on social media, that's a vehicle. Doing SEO, that's a vehicle. Networking events, asking for referrals, they're all vehicles. And they're super important. Like, we need vehicles. But if all you're focused on vehicles is then you are only focused on lead gen rather than nurturing and educating your current. And marketing gives you both. I'm about to show you something where you can see, yes, we've got to attract, but we've also got to engage with our current people. So the vehicle-focused marketing people, I know that they're simply leaving money on the table. So what we want to be able to do is get somebody up to having this marketing machine, a complete system that not only brings new people in, but it educates and nurtures your current people. It gets people who are around you raising their hand saying, oh, can I please see if you can help me? And 80% of it should be done without you. These days, we've got such powerful tools with tech and softwares that you shouldn't need to actually be running this once it's all set up properly. So when you look at right now, where do you sit? Are you vehicle focused in your marketing? Do you really just do marketing when time permits? Or is it really just, I'm sort of twiddling my thumbs and hoping something good happens? What zone do you sit in at the moment? Are you red? Are you yellow? Are you green? Throw it into the chat box for me. Again, where you're at, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you by the time you finish how you can have a complete system. Yeah, if you'd like help building it, yeah, we can help you. But if you don't need help building it, perfect. You'll know exactly what to do and how to do it. Okay? Because our goal is to ensure that people know who you are, you get to make more impact to more people, and in the end, you get why you went into business. You didn't go into business to get more leads, to have to chase people, to have a marketing hat on. You went into business to create freedom, to be able to help, to be able to serve, to be able to do things the way you want to be able to do them. And most of the time we get stuck in the weeds of the business rather than doing what we actually truly want to be able to do. So from that, let's start understanding marketing and the marketing complete framework. Okay? From here, I'm going to then run through with you 9 different projects across sort of 3 key areas. So you're going to know exactly what you could be doing to be able to turn yourself from ad hoc marketing or no marketing into having a complete system. So when we talk about attract, we talk about bringing in new people, people who don't even know you exist right now. That's what attract is about. So when people run ads, when people go to networking events, when people do SEO, when people stand out the front of their location with a sign up, it is all about trying to bring new people into their world. So when you bring someone in, you might keep them in your CRM, your customer relationship management system, or they might be on your social platforms. But in essence, what these people are is they are now part of your audience. And we want to make sure that every single day we're growing our audience. So let's start here and let's just look at where you're at. So what do you do right now that brings in new people into your audience? So you might go, I go to networking events. Perfect. I do ads. Great. I'm part of a referral group. Brilliant. But what I want you to do right now is just make a list. What do you do right now that brings in new people into your audience every single day? Make a list of that. If you want to share, fantastic. If the answer is nothing, that's fine. That's why you're here. So now you should have got down, what do you do each day that attracts? Now, if you happen to put down post on social media, that's not an attract strategy. Those people are already around you. They're already friends. They're already connections. They're already followers. That's a nurture and educate strategy. So I see lots of times where people are, well, I post on Facebook. That's my attract strategy. No, it's not. That's not bringing anybody new into your world. They're already in your world. So once we attract, and now we've got a CRM full of people, we've got social platforms full of people, we've got this audience. We need to make sure that now we are educating and nurturing those people. And this is why. Because when somebody comes to you, there are 4 different types of people right now in your world. There are what we call grey people. Grey people do not have the pain point that you solve. They're not looking for a solution. But if they are the type of person you work with, hey, life changes, and life changes pretty quickly. So who knows in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years' time, that they might actually have the pain point that you solve. But if we took, as an example, where Daniel, for example, branding the strategy of food and drink brands. And Daniel has business coaches and accountants and bookkeepers in his audience. Those people aren't ever going to become his client because they're not food and drink brands. But if Daniel only has food and drink brands in his audience, some of them right now don't need branding and strategy. So therefore, they're great people. But who knows what happens down the track? Because they're the type of people Daniel works with. So therefore, if they come up with that problem, if he does a really good job of nurturing and educating, then they will obviously use him. So then you've got red people. Red people, I've got the pain point. It's just not a priority for me right now. I'm sure you've got many a pain point, but right now it's just not big enough for you to actually do something about it. Then we've got yellow people. I've got the pain point. It is a priority, but I've got a roadblock or two. Maybe it's cash flow. Maybe I've got to sort out some paperwork first. Maybe I've got to go through the divorce, whatever. It's a pain point. It is a priority, but there just happens to be a roadblock. Then you've got green people. It's a pain point. It's a priority. I want it fixed now. I just need to know, are you the right person to help me fix it? So right now, in your CRM, across your social platforms, you've got these 4 different types of people. And the sad bit is, none of them are sitting there with a label on their forehead saying, I'm a green person, I'm a red person, I'm a yellow person, pick me, leave me alone, I'm a grey person. So therefore, you have to guess. No, we don't. We want to constantly make sure we have ways to nurture, add value, deepen the relationship, and demonstrate how we can make our people's lives better. And that's what turns them from being grey to red, red to yellow, yellow to green. So this is where, unfortunately, it actually is quite sad how regularly I hear this. I use this marketing agency to run ads for me, but I just get no return. Well, running ads is fine, but it's an attract strategy. It brings in new people. There are only like 2% of green people at any given time. So if you're only ever running ads to try to find green people, can you see how it's really hard to get a return on your marketing dollar? And that's why we have to make sure that not only do we have ways to attract, but we have ways to nurture and educate. Because that is where prospects turn into clients. So the next bit also becomes key, and that is making sure that we ask so that we know who is green and who is ready to raise their hand. So enroll is all about being able to fill your calendar with people who actually are looking for a solution. The only people who are going to raise their hands are green people because they're ready to go, hey, Scott, how might you be able to help me? Hey, Sky, how can you help me? Hey, Daniel, how can you help me? Everybody else, they're just going to lurk in the background. And that's perfect. Okay? If they lurk in the background, that's great. But what we've got to become great at doing is making sure that we ask. So at the very beginning, when we look at our marketing frameworks, we've got to attract and bring in new people all the time. Then we've got to nurture and educate because that's what warms prospects into clients. The only way that we are going to know who is green, maybe yellow, and is ready to be able to have a conversation with you about how you could make their life better, we're going to use ask frameworks. And then you get the right people raising their hands. So what does an ask look like for you? Let me just go through and so you can model it. You will hear me throughout this session, as well as if you stay in our world, you'll hear me say all the time, if you would like help building a marketing system, please let us know. We're happy to help. Now, some people are going to say yes. Other people are going to ignore us. Some people will say no. It doesn't matter. Because who are you focused on? The ones that say yes. Everybody else stays in the pool for you to be able to nurture and educate. And now you know that those people have a green little label on their forehead. But if you don't use us, then nobody is going to raise their hand. And the sad part is, this is what happens. You're sitting there going, oh, nobody wants to work with me. Nobody needs my stuff. And they're sitting there going, oh, I wonder how I work with Sky. Like, what do I just reach out to Daniel or do I? And as humans, the number one thing we never want to do is make a mistake. So we would prefer to do nothing than to actually do the wrong thing. So you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, thinking no one wants to work with me. They're sitting there twiddling their thumbs going, I've got no idea how to work with them. All because we didn't have an ask framework. So let's come back and I want you to think, what do you do on a regular basis that nurtures your audience? Okay, so right now, you've got a bunch of people. How do you talk to them? How do you deepen relationships with them? How do you demonstrate that you can make their life better? What do you do? Right, write a list. So you should now have a list of things that you do to attract. All right, so you don't have any, that's fine. That's why you're here. Now make a list of what are the things that you do that nurtures and educates your people. If you want to share, please feel free, but at least I want you to write it down. Yeah, Kevin, love it. I've been held back by the thought that if I can't do it right, then I should wait. I remember it was probably about November, December last year, Kevin. And like I've been running webinars and masterclasses since like 2010. And I found one from 2011. And I went and I had a look at it. And I cringed. It was horrible. But it was the very best that I could do in 2011. And the more you do something, the better you become at it. So I know that makes common sense to us. We've just got to build that in as that's our belief. And I think something else is really important. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And you can never say the right thing to the wrong type of person. And I think that's so true. There are some people who are naturally your people. And the people who aren't, that's okay. It's so much better that they realize that they aren't and just go find their people. Because it saves you an awful lot of heartache, pain, and frustration. Okay? So we'll have people who will jump on this and they'll be gone within 10 minutes. It's like, great. It wasn't for you. You were hoping that I'd talk about the ideal tactic of Facebook ads and you can go and get some leads and then do nothing with them and then go, oh, this thing doesn't work. The people who have just gone, I'm sick of doing it the current way, I need a better way, are the people who are here learning. And they're the people I love being able to share stuff with. So that just has to be your way of thinking. Okay? So now we talk about deliver. And when we deliver, we want to deliver in what we call a green brain framework. I'm not going to dive into this, but there's red brain, survival, cortex, logical brain. There's green brain, limbic, feeling brain. If you are too logical in the way that you deliver, then your clients will never become raving, ranting fans that refer you more. So now you've got a complete framework. From the very bottom, every day new people have to be coming in, whether you're doing it or not. Every day we need to be nurturing our people, getting seen, showing how good we are, showing how we can make their life better. Couple times throughout the week, we need to be asking, hey, would you like help? And giving people a chance to raise their hands. And then when people become your clients, you need to make sure that you are evoking brain chemicals, because it's those brain chemicals that make somebody become a ranting, raving lunatic that wants to talk about how great you are to everybody they possibly can. And that is the end goal. So we've gone through some frameworks here. I'm going to show you exactly what we do in each of these areas. You can now just model it. You might be doing some of it. Great. You might need to do some of it better. Or you might go, crap, I haven't been doing any of that. And then you can. Okay? Now, as I said, this here is exactly what we build with our Partnership Club Tribe. We just, for each individual business, we help them build this out, make sure they've got the right tech, the right software, and they're not doing the heavy lifting. So, no, this is proven. Over hundreds of people use this every single year, and they enroll consistently 3, 5, 7 new clients every single month because they've got new people coming in every single day. They're nurturing, educating. They're asking and getting their calendar filled. So the only thing they're left to do is to show, this is how we can make your life better. Would you like help? So I'm going to just start off with the core bit around the middle because I think it's really important. When I think about business, I think about we go into business because we want more freedom. We want to be able to pick the hours we want to work. We want to be able to have holidays when we want to have holidays. We want to be spending more time with the people we want to spend more time with. Like, that's why we created business. For most people, that's not what they've got. They've got longer hours. They've got probably less pay. And they've got probably more hassles than what they really want. Don't know too many people that signed up for that. And probably most of us wouldn't have signed up for it if we knew. But we're definitely not going to quit on it. But to get freedom, what do we need? We need clients consistently. Because that allows us to be able to create more money. And it also allows us to be able to make greater impact. That's what freedom gives us. And that's why I go, for us, that's the heart of why we do what we do. Right? Because we want businesses to be able to have that. Now, to be able to have that, there are three things we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on attract, convert, and deliver. So attract is to do what? Really simple. Fill the pipeline, build the audience. That's what attract is all about. And there are three projects, three ways that you can simply do that. Convert is about taking prospects into clients. There is no point just bringing new people into your pipeline if you just think they're going to magically then go, Scott, I'm happy to be a client now. It's not how it works. It is getting harder and harder. There is less and less trust. And right now, it is up to like 12 to 14 touch points before someone decides that you are the right solution for them. Gone are the days where you could just go, hey, here's a short video, watch it, and they'd go, fantastic, I'm ready to go. Gone are the days where you go, well, here's a simple little ebook, have a read. And they'd message you back, go, fantastic, I'm ready to go. There is so much noise that the way we deepen the relationship is key. And then deliver is all about raving, ranting fans. And that's what we want to be able to create. So you can see with your marketing now, it's not just simply lead generation, is it? Like you came in going, I need more leads. Actually, what we really need is this complete system that brings in new people, warms them up, and then turns them into raving, ranting fans so that you end up getting more referrals. Okay? So let's look at attract and the three key things around attract. So the first one, we call it building your black book network. I don't care whether you're a LinkedIn person, Facebook person, Instagram person, X person, YouTube person, whatever other ones you've got going on. It doesn't matter. It gives you the ability to be able to grow a network of your ideal type of clients as fast as you possibly can. LinkedIn, 25 connection requests a day. Very similar on Facebook, very similar on Instagram. I can put 100 new people into my network every day, 7 days a week. And the key is I only want people that have the potential to buy from me, open doors for me, or become a great referral source. And that's it. I don't want friends. I don't want family. I can use the phone for them. I build a network with purpose. Now, we've got software that plugs into our client's LinkedIn profile and does all of that for them. And there's those sorts of things available. But you need to be building your network every single day of your ideal type of people. Next is we leverage events, because that is what fills our pipeline. Now, what's the hardest part of running an event? Getting people to it. Well, there's event software that can just simply send out invites every single day. And someone can choose, oh, yeah, that looks like that could really help me. I'll come. Or, yeah, that's not for me. Delete. But again, every day you want to be getting in front of people who don't even know you exist right now. We want to make sure that we are leveraging referrals, and we do that by building what we call our referral partner whiteboard. One of the easiest ways to be able to fill your pipeline is having somebody else with the same audience that you have promote you to their audience. So I'm just going to make this up here. I'm going to pretend that I'm an accountant for food and beverage businesses. Daniel's a branding and strategist for food and beverage businesses. We've got exactly the same audience. We don't compete with each other. So therefore, I could go, hey, Daniel, could you send out this to your people? And Daniel said, yeah, of course. Michael, could you send out this to your people? And now we're leveraging into other people's networks and filling our own pipeline. That's the key when you build a great referral partner whiteboard. You have other people filling your pipeline for you. So there's 3 projects straight away that are going to help to attract. Now remember the purpose of attract, fill, pipeline. So now we're bringing in new people. At the start of each month, our clients do what we call a monthly business performance review. There's a bunch of questions. It takes them 5 minutes. It helps us know, are they on track and where are the gaps? And it helps them know, and more importantly, keeps them accountable to winning. So we want to have, at a minimum, 50 plus new people coming into our pipeline each month. Now, for a lot of you, that's like, I don't even get that in a year. But that's what should be happening at a minimum every single month. And for most of them, they're getting well over 150, 200, sometimes even up to 500. I think that's 50 people who all of a second ago didn't even know they existed, that are interested in possibly getting help somewhere down the track. So let's take ourselves over then to Convert. And Convert is just nurture and educate. Remember, the purpose of that is to turn prospects into clients. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to be able to share our genius. You're all great at your thing. That's why you do it. You can help your clients. So if you're not sharing your genius, then no one knows how great you are. Like, you're the world's best kept secret sitting over there in the corner. Really hard to get clients. So you could be sharing your genius through your social platforms. You could be sharing your genius through what we call value emails. You could be sharing your genius through some sort of online or offline masterclass, webinar, lunch and learn event, you could be sharing your genius by doing talks for other people. But the key is you've got to keep sharing your genius. Because otherwise, you're not demonstrating how you can make other people's lives better. So the next bit is we've got to make sure that we've got great nurture and engagement campaigns. This has always held true in 16 plus years of being in business. The more conversations I'm in, the more my business grows. Because where do sales happen? In conversations. So the purpose of nurture and engagement campaigns, and these are all set up through workflows and automations, is to create conversations. Because the more conversations you're in, the more opportunities you will have for sales and for referrals. Both pretty important things in our business. But if all you're ever doing is sharing your genius, hoping someone looks at it and replies to you, you're only doing like 10% of what can be done. That's why with everything we're putting here, it's not just, oh, I'll just pick that one or I'll just pick that one. We've got to be able to build so we've got everything happening. And that's when the magic really takes place. The last one in Convert is about fill your calendar. And that's about using the ask scripts and framework so that every single week we've got people raising their hand saying, yes, please, can I see if you can help me? Now, if you're not bringing in some 50 plus new people, and all you're ever doing is speaking to old people rather than new people, makes it really hard to fill your calendar. So that's why we need to make sure that both of these things work hand in hand. You can't do one without the other. We've got to bring people in, then we've got to warm them up. So over in the deliver part, let's just talk about the 3 projects over there. The first one is I want my onboarding to be like a Disney-like experience. Don't know if you've ever been to Disneyland, wherever. They're all the same. No matter which one of the 7 you go to, when you first walk in, it's like dopamine hit, oxytocin hit, serotonin hit, adrenaline hit, all the good brain chemicals. Most of the time when a new client comes on for us, what do? Fill in the paperwork. I need you to do this for me. Cortisol hit, the one bad brain chemical, and we tend to create it, not on purpose. We think we're doing the right thing. But we're not evoking the right brain chemicals. So that's the first thing that we want to focus on when we are focusing on delivery. The next thing is how do we build our social proof system? Not just one-off social proofs, but consistently, week after week after week, we are collecting social proof that we can share, that we can utilize in our marketing, that gives us feedback we're doing a great job. So we need to build our social proof system. And then finally, how do we green brain all of our systems? Again, real quickly, I'm not going to get into it all that much. Over here, you've got the red brain. The red brain helps you to survive. Okay, so obviously, you're in that brain 95% of your day. It's logical, it's analytical, it mind maps stuff out. It's rational, but it does not create any human behavior. All human behavior stems from the green brain. So if we want someone to buy from us, if we want someone to refer us, if we want someone to talk positively to us, if we want someone to stay with us longer, it all happens over here in the limbic brain, the feeling brain. See, the silly part is that brain doesn't even understand a word I'm saying. It's only based on feel. And the exciting part is, as you can actually influence that. And that's what we need to be able to do. So there are 3 projects that we're going to deliver. When we put them all together, it starts to look like this. We've got the heart of why we do what we do. We then focus on attract and the 3 projects that bring more people in. We then focus on nurture and educate to turn prospects into clients. And then finally, the way we deliver so that we turn people into ranting, raving fans. And now you're starting to see a complete marketing system rather than, oh, should I do Facebook ads? Should I do Google pay-per-click? My SEO is not working. It has to be a complete system for your marketing to get a return on its dollar. So, can you quickly do this for me? Can you throw into the chat box for me, what's been the biggest takeaway for you? What's been your biggest takeaway from what we've just gone through there? I've got a couple of little rants, got a bit excited in some of them. What's been your biggest takeaway? Good. Need to nurture better. What about some of the others? Good. Need a system. Yeah, it's a whole system. Good. I need to create excitement. And the way that we deliver, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, what I want you to walk away from here is really simple. You've just got there a bunch of different things that you can do around attract, convert, deliver. And doing any of those is going to be better than none of them. And hopefully now, rather than just go in, and Matt, thank you so much for writing it, it's not just about attracting leads. Because you can attract leads all the time. But if you don't have the right systems in place to nurture and educate them, you're leaving so much money on the table. In fact, you're costing yourself money. Because very few people are ready to work with you in the very moment that they show interest. I've seen where it's taken 7 years before someone's decided it's time. We can't control that. What we can control is constantly staying front of mind, showing that we can make their life better, and being there for when they are ready. And you now have a system that allows you to do that. So as I said towards the beginning, this is what we do day in, day out with our Partnership Club Tribe. We've got software to make life easier. We've got workflows, automations that we put into people's CRMs to make life easier. We have weekly sessions. We hold people accountable. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's really simple. If it's something you're interested in finding out more about, then really simple. I'm just going to put a link in the chat box to a form that lets me understand your business, because we can't help all businesses. That form, you just Takes you a couple of minutes. In fact, here's what the form looks like. You tell me what sort of business you have, what CRM do you use, how do you currently fill it, how do you nurture and educate, how many sales do you get, what actually are the roadblocks for you. So just go ahead, you fill in that form, let me actually see whether we can help you or not, and I'll be back to you as soon as I get the form within a few hours with a bit of a plan. And the plan might be just simply, hey, Scott, thanks so much for shooting through the form. I actually think you need to do A, B, C. Or it might be, hey, Scott, thanks for shooting through the form. Let's jump on Zoom and let's explore how we might be able to help. It's as simple as that. Okay? Partnership Club is not a mass marketing machine. It has a small group of people that we get to hold their hand and we get to help them win. And that's it. Okay, team, hopefully that's been super helpful, that you've got the things that you need. The link to the form is in the chat box. I'll get the recording out so you can go through and you can watch it again. But the key is start taking action. A big thing that I love to say, frameworks make the brain work, and without it, it is guesswork and hard work. Turn your marketing into a framework. Okay, team, have an amazing rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you happen to be in the world, and I look forward to catching up with you real soon. Take care, everyone. See you later.